What's going on? YouTube is Donnie P all day. Super duper happy to be back. Super duper sad to leave the Midwest. But gotta get back on track. Today, knife review. But first and foremost, special shout out to my man Aussie Pete, my mate Pete Morrissey. Just want to say, golly, dude, you are the best. I mean, just awesome. So Pete asked me a couple questions one time regarding the Wallabies, the national rugby team in Australia. And so in that conversation, Pete decided it would be a good idea to troll D-Bad out a jersey. And I was like, say what? And before we even get into that, thoughts and prayers go with my man. He's got some family health issues that, man, I hope everything works out great for you, my brother. Let me show the people how really amazing you are. So he told me he was sending me a Wallabies jersey, and I was totally stoked. But there ended up being two things in there, and one of them is the Aussie football team here in America. We call it soccer. So check this out. He sends me an official jersey for the football team, football. And this is sweet, but holy crap, this rugby jersey is awesome. It's a real rugby jersey. And this thing is amazing. Look at this. Look at this. The Wallabies right there. How very cool is that? It is sweet, man. That is awesome. Oh, man. And they're comfortable, too. This is actually really comfortable jersey. These are built well. This is a sweet, sweet jersey. I am stoked. Happy for that. And again, please, I hope everything works out for you guys. Let's get into this knife. So this is a knife that I have already owned. I never got to do a test because I lost it. And the worst part is I lost it inside the house. I thought I lost it in my bathroom. I tore that thing up. I couldn't find it anywhere. So I had to get it again. This is the Barge by Kershaw. What's that little number? 1945X. 1945 X-ray. This thing is sweet. And even though I didn't test it yet, I already know it's sweet because this was my EDC for a long time. I carried this thing everywhere. So, speaking of EDC, let's take out my D-Bad little big man. Well, that was easy. And open up this package. Thanks, D-Bad little big man. Sold on thekukrihouse.com. Designed by yours truly and thick as a brick. All right, so let's get out of that and into this. Out of one and into another. Dropping my sheath all over the place. And let's take this little plastic tip off of there and give you guys a good look. 8CR13 MOV is the steel. It's the glass, nylon filled handle material. You have a steel back. It's a 2.6 inch blade length. I know that. What is the total length on this guy? 4.7 inch closed. It is a frame lock. It is a ambidextrous belt clip, and it is tipped down, and it is awesome. I leave it exactly where it is because it's perfect. It's on the steel side. They do a good job. This thing is comfortable. These aren't always easy to find, but when you find them, suck them up. They are in high demand. It's really, really a good knife. It's got this little crowbar on the end, which comes in abso-freaking-lutely handy. It's got a jimped spacer to give extra strength in the handle. It's just a really well done knife. It's a stone-washed blade. You can get a good look at that right there. It's got great shape, great angle, great edge. Let's see if this edge is shave sharp as they always come. And of course it is 100%, 150%, 180% shave freaking sharp. These guys come right. They're easy to sharpen. They're easy to maintain. They are jimped for the thumb jimping. Boop. They are jimped for finger jimping, so you can use this as a skinner if you needed to. But it is an absolute workhorse. This is one of those keep it in your work bag or just bring it to work with you every day type knives. This thing really does make a difference. It has a lanyard hole, and even there is texturing on the little crowbar, and it's not so much for a hand texture. Sure, you can rest a pinky on it, but it makes it so when you're using it as a crowbar, it helps to maintain grip and stick to whatever you are pulling, which is awesome. Let's see, what's it say right there? I think it just says the Steel ATR M13. Let's see right there. You get a good look at that. This knife is really cool. You do have thumb studs, and they're ambidextrous, same size on both sides, which I like being a lefty. The frame lock on here is really smooth and really nice. It's very strong. It is a very, very sturdy little package. But talking about them and using them is two different things. So let's start with using before we go to the outer world. Let's see. Smooth. So does it cut cardboard? I hope so. It's an EDC type workhorse utility knife. Let's go and find out what else it cuts. Come on now. All right, so here we are at the old stumper. Look at that. Even the crowbar will stick in. Solid, solid, solid. This whole thing is solid. This is screwed in with some kind of it's like a little Chicago screw type setup. Awesome, it works. All screwed in here. Awesome, they work. Let's do a couple of 4-foot drops from way up high in the air. You can see how it drops nice and straight. The balance is made well on this little knife. Couple of hard downward throws, and it's got good bite. It's got a really sweet tip, and I'll show you the flare. Oh, wow, it's really in there. All right, so you can see how it goes from one thickness here, and then it cuts in, and then it goes out, and then it goes in. That means stability and strength on the tip. It's exactly what that's for, and they do a great, great job. Let's see. Let's see. She's a cutter. We're going to take this, and with a push cut, without sawing, yeah, thick nylon rope, push cut, awesome. Now the scales, they call it like a faux G10 or something like that, and the reason is because it has the same kind of the same kind of grip you'd get, texturing in a G10, and people look at it and go, oh, G10, but it's not. It's like a hardened rubber, which just makes it really good in the hand. But I think that's what they call it, is faux G10. Doesn't matter. It's faux nasty, faux nominal. All right, so let's see what we got here. If we can't get us a little shave action going on. Let's see. Oh, of course we can. Now this is hardwood, hardwood, and usually when you see hardwood and people try to feather with hardwood, especially, it doesn't act nice. You know what I mean? But when you have a really good blade with a really good profile to it, it doesn't matter how hard the wood is. It's just good, man. It's just good. Let me try and find some stuff that we can get through here. All right. So this is what we want to do. We're gonna make some pit spikes for camp, especially where I just came from in Arizona. If you're camping out there, out in the wild, you might need some because of all the coyotes and big cats that roam. So you need a little blade that's going to give you a little tip. You make yourself a nice little pointy pokey, and that way you plant a whole bunch of them in the ground around the campsite, only to where they're going to be, right outside your tent. Not outside your door, obviously. You're going to step on them, and then when critters come through, boop, they put that paw in there, and that's it. Or you dig a hole and you cover it loosely, and you put a bunch of these in there. When they fall, boom, you got dinner the next morning. Arrows, spear tips, anything like that, this is what it's good for. Let's see. My hand was probably in the way that entire time. That's the way it is. I don't care. I'm an animal. So I'm trying to think of what we can really do to show off this knife. It's an EDC knife. It's made for cutting. It's made to be sharp. We already showed you that it is both of those. It is both of those easily both of those, but it's got to be more, right? It's got to be more. There's got to be something else. Let's see if we can chop some of this stuff down with it. I know it is no way, no how a chopper, but we're just gonna see what we can do. We're gonna see what we can do. We're gonna have a little fun here. Well, I am. Oh, hey, ho! Oh, I missed. Hey, ho! Okay, now that stuff is really light and really easy, so you know it might look better than it is. But right there, that part's wood. That part's wood. I'm trying to step around things so I can get in there. Let's see if we can get a nice thick piece. And remember, this is dangling. There's nothing holding this, which makes it really hard to, when it makes it hard to hit because it's going to move. So your blade needs to be really sharp to get this thing going. Let's see. Aha! Hoo-hoo! Not so bad, man. Not so bad. It has nothing to do with weight distribution because it's an EDC pocket knife. All the weight is here with this guy because of that. But the fact that the edge geometry is so well done that it glides through whatever I pass it through, that is what makes it the workhorse it is. I mean, it's just sweet. It's awesome, awesome, awesome. And I carried one of these for a long time until I lost it. And it was with me every day. And then I was talking to somebody who said they'd been looking for one. So I was able to find him one. And he was so happy. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Do a little de-limbing here. Yeah, no problem. Let's take some of the softwood here. Let's see. Let's see. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Now, I'm trying to think of what we can pry with. So I think what we'll do is we'll invent a pry. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come by, I'm going to grab these and I'm going to squeeze them together. We're going to close up the blade. We're going to take our little pry bar and I'm going to hold these in there together. And look at that. So if I put my finger on here and I hold here, I have two sticks tight together. I'm going to slip my pry in like that. And I'm just going to move my pry and it's going to work. This thing isn't loosening. It's not going to come off. It's just going to work. It's a really, really good prying blade. And it has, this thing offers so many different uses and they're everyday uses that right now I'm sitting in the yard. I don't have an everyday use to use it for, but we can think of something. So you're out in the bush. You're in the need of, my running here, we're in the need of survival. And maybe you did make yourself a little pit spike. Maybe you did catch yourself a little animal, and maybe you do need to open up that skin. See that? You see that, how smooth that is? I'm going to go right here because I've got double the material pressed together. You can see that. And it's easy. It's easy. It's easy. Easy. Relax. This knife, it's hard to show it off how good this knife really is because you don't realize how good it is until all of a sudden you say, oh crap, does anybody have a knife on them? And you go, oh yeah. You know, it's one of those things where, oh, I just needed a knife. I pulled it out and whatever I needed it to do, it did. That's the kind of knife this was for me. It wasn't any time of the day, you know, any purpose. Oh crap, I need a blade. I pull it out. This thing did the job. And that's why I swear by it so much because I used it. This little Kershaw, the Barge, is sweet. And I was so very happy to buy myself another one because they're absolutely worth it. You have jimping on the frame lock here that I forgot to mention about that really makes closing this thing a joy. It's one-hand use, open, close, easy money. And it's just great value. They're not that expensive. And if you find them, you know, really do your searching for one. The Kershaw Barge is 100% a good value, a great little knife. I would recommend these all day, every day, any day to anyone. Just a good freaking knife to have. Like having a good knife reviewer. I mean, you just need one. And when you find one, let me know because I need to learn some stuff. All right, so that's it for me. I'm closing in on the Barge. We got some big knives coming up to show you some big knives. Even got a cool old school Frost that I want to bring out. Something that anybody who's known Frost knives forever you're going to go, wow, where'd you find that classic? But we got some cool stuff, man. Plus, don't forget, don't you dare forget, bad you. Don't forget, we have the Mission 4 coming. D-Bad designed, nasty as, it's just gonna be incredible. It's gonna be incredible. Kukri House is finishing it up. They're sending it to me, and I am like, look at me. I'm twitching over here. I can't wait for this thing to come in. It's gonna be, you know, the remake of the Rambo 4. It's the D-Bad Mission 4, and it's gonna be sick. It's gonna be phenomenal. So that's it. This is it. The Kershaw Barge. Great little pocket knife. It really tells you a little story about how good Kershaw blades are. Sweet. All right, I'm Donnie B all day. Till next knife.